Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about Todd McShay mocking cornerback Devon Witherspoon to the Washington Commanders in the first round. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content, also with that like button and the notification bell as well. So it's been a couple days since the Eric Bieniemy news and nothing new has come out, so I just want to move on a little bit and make a video while things are still finishing up in terms of, they already signed the deal, but, once he starts signing assistants and stuff, I'll make videos on that, and maybe I'll do a, full dedicated video to his schemes and stuff like that, and what he can bring to the Washington Commanders. But today, I'm going to do a little bit of draft talk. I like to do these for at least once for every big name mock draft guy, just to get a sense of what the national media thinks of the Washington Commanders draft needs and their predictions. So Todd McShay, I think last week, did his mock draft and he had the Washington Commanders taking cornerback Devon Witherspoon, who I really like this pick. I think he is either the best or second best cornerback in this draft, behind maybe Christian Gonzalez. And yeah, so that would be with the 16th overall pick. Some information on him: he's played at Illinois, and he's this is what McShay says: a terrific cover corner. Witherspoon allowed just 3.3 yards per attempt thrown his direction this season, second best in the nation, and he had 3 interceptions. Washington's pass defense improved a bit in 2022, but it still needs a dominant playmaker on the outside opposite Kendall Fuller, and Witherspoon's ball skills would help create some takeaways after the Commanders finished 28th with 9 interceptions. And the thing is, with yes, cornerbacks in need, but this is why I don't always trust the national media guys a ton, just because you look at it and obviously our cornerbacks, we do need help there, but Benjamin St-Juste is, when he is healthy, he's better than Kendall Fuller. Benjamin St-Juste is a very good young corner. It's just the biggest question with him is health. But I do think the Commanders do need a corner. And some more thoughts on Devon Witherspoon. This is from CBS Sports. Devon Witherspoon had a great season for I guess he says the Illinois, and while there will be questions about his slight frame, you wouldn't know it watching him play. Yeah, there's some other things as well. And then Christian Gonzalez, I've seen him mocked to the Commanders as well. I really like him. He's my cornerback one for now, but I haven't watched a ton of film on all the corners, so there's still some time to change that. And we got the Combine coming up soon and other things as well. But he is definitely one of the favorite picks that I've seen for the Commanders. He's about 6 foot, 180 pounds, senior, hometowns in Florida. The draft grade 6.4. And Combine hasn't happened yet, and there's some info here. Let's look at the overview. Witherspoon's a fun watch, but requires evaluators to carefully consider his strengths and weaknesses relative to scheme. He plays with anticipation, route feel, and a consistent sense of urgency to prevent catches as well, or as displayed by his high number of pass breakups. He plays with ball hawking eyes and a good balance from zone coverage, and is very aggressive, tackling both after the catch and in run support. There are snaps where he gets behind and stays behind due to a lack of premium speed and closing burst, so he might require help over the top or a more zone-oriented scheme to help him shine, which, we play a lot of zone. The playmaking mentality and traits give him a solid chance to become a CB2 in the league. Well, if we're drafting a quarterback in the first round, you want CB1, so I don't know about all that. I've seen a lot of people think he can be an elite cornerback. Some people have him as a number 1 cornerback, and people think this is a very strong cornerback class. I'm not drafting a guy in the first round to be a CB2. Sorry. We already have that in Kendall Fuller, and Benjamin St-Juste is at least a CB2. Could be a CB1 if he is able to stay healthy. So strengths: allowed a completion rate of just 35% in 2022 per PFF. That's amazing. Impressive route recognition. Eyes are probing from off coverages. Well-balanced defending high-low route concepts from zone. Instinctive with 14 pass breakups. Takes ball side angles to disrupt the catch point. Zeroes in on receivers' hands on deep throws. You love to see that. Physical with a striker's mentality and run support. And tackler versus the pass. Some weaknesses can be a jab stepped off balance by release fakes. Coverage is very handsy after the first 5 yards, similar to Benjamin St-Juste coming out of college and still in the NFL. He's pretty handsy. Top end speed could be an issue at the next level. Lacks juice to make up the distance when he gets behind. Will bite hard on play action and double moves. So, of course, everyone's gonna have their weaknesses, but it looks like he has much more, many more strengths than weaknesses. Overall, I really like Devon Witherspoon, probably my CB2 behind Christian Gonzalez. I would, be happy if we drafted one in the first round for sure, either a tackle or corner. But there's some I think there's some good tackle depth where if we didn't go first round, we could get a good, tackle in the second round. For Darnell Wright from Tennessee would be a guy that's probably going to be late first to mid second that we could get in the second round. And there'll be some other guys available as well that might rise or fall that could be there at 47. But I really strongly feel that we should take a tackle or cornerback in the first round. That's just me. I know some people are going to disagree with that. Some people might still think we need quarterback. And I do agree that quarterback's still a need, but it's Sam Howell's season. Let's see what he can do. And if he doesn't have a great year, okay, let's go ahead and take a QB next year. But we got to give him a chance. We got to give Sam Howell a chance for sure. And I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit because there's some Eric Bieniemy / Sam Howell news that I'll talk about at the end of the video. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's either cornerback or tackle in the first round. Some people might say linebacker. Some people might say guard. Those positions aren't really premium, especially in the first round. Maybe if you trade back into the late part of the first round, that's something you can consider. But still, there's going to be some tackles and corners there where I would just take that position. Maybe even a tight end. Again, not a position I would probably take in the first round, but there's some really good tight ends. This is also a very good... this is a very deep tight end class. Like in the second round is probably the second to third round is probably the sweet spot for the tight ends. The first tight end off the board, if it's in the first round, there's probably better value with the second, third, or fourth tight end in the draft. Because I've seen, a lot of people are in love with Michael Mayer, but I've seen some people have the Utah tight end above him, Darnell Wright above him not Darnell Washington, above him. Like I've seen him as like the third or fourth tight end on some people's board. Not that I agree with that, but just an opinion. There's not really a consensus on who's the best tight end. So some real quick some stats on Devon Witherspoon before we get into the Sam Howell news. So 2019 he played at Illinois all 4 years. First year had 2 pass breakups, no sacks, no forced fumbles, no picks, and still 33 tackles. Next year a little bit some more tackles, also threw in 2 interceptions, a forced fumble. The next year improved the tackles, got 9 pass breakups, which is great, a sack. And then this year had 42 total tackles, 14 pass breakups, which is amazing, 3 interceptions, returned for a total of 97 yards. You love to see it. So about 6 foot, 6'1" maybe, 180 pounds, pretty young, and yeah, I think he's a really good prospect overall. Would not mind if he is there. If the Commanders picked him at 16, either him or Christian Gonzalez would be a great pick in my opinion. So real quick, the Sam Howell news. This is from Pro Football Talk. Not everyone's favorite source, but still, they are usually reliable. Dov Kleiman says the Commanders will stick with their plan to start the 2023 season with Sam Howell as QB1. The hiring of new offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy doesn't change that, source told Pro Football Talk. Bieniemy is positive about Washington's roster and Howell. So I probably agree with this statement, but if they were thinking about bringing another QB, they wouldn't say, now that we got Eric Bieniemy, we're going to think about if Sam Howell's the guy. Because then you lose leverage. Because then teams are like, well, you just said you don't know if Sam Howell's the guy, so obviously you don't think that, and you want a new QB. So they're not going to waste their leverage. So I don't think this quote really means anything, but I still think that that's the plan for Sam Howell to stay as QB1. But if a quarterback becomes available that Eric Bieniemy is in love with, he has power. He has way more power than Scott Turner did. They both call the plays, but he's assistant head coach, going to be getting paid more, and I think the players are going to respect him much more. So I do think he has more power, and maybe that'll translate to personnel decisions. Like Scott Turner wasn't on board with the Carson Wentz move, but it happened anyway. So that's just kind of a quick thought there about Sam Howell. So that's it for today's video. We'll see what happens in the next few days. I know the press conference for Eric Bieniemy will be Thursday, so that's a while. That's 5 days from now. So meanwhile, I guess I'll do a free agent video maybe, and we'll see from there. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and peace, guys.